Now we want to add two additional UI elements to our storyboard here. We're going to add this to our second view controller. So once again, we're going to go down to our object library, and this time we're going to type in text field. We're going to be adding two text fields, so let's add one. And let's try to align this with our stamp here so everything lines up nicely. And let's drag another one in here. And let's go ahead and go to the attributes inspector for our first text field. And we could add text or we could add placeholder text. Now, text won't go away when we tap into our text field. We'll see that the original text will stay there, and then we'll be able to append some text to that. Whereas with placeholder text, when we tap into our text field, it'll remove the placeholder text message, and then we'll be able to replace it with the text we want. And that's what the functionality we want inside this application. So we're going to enter some placeholder text here. We're going to say enter name, and then we'll go to our second text field here, and we're going to say enter message. And we can drag this down a little bit. And let's actually go ahead and change the border style for both of these. So I'm going to select the square border style. I think that looks pretty cool for this application here. And this time, let's go ahead and run our application. Let's choose the iPhone 6 Plus this time. I think this should size really nicely with the big screen we have here. And I'm just trying to run this in different simulators just so you can see the different sizes here. We see that in this case, right, we get a ton of extra space here. So we've kind of sized this for the iPhone 6. We also see that our window's really large here, so we can do window scale, and we can make this 75, so this fits a little bit better on our screen. We could even make it 50, I'm sure. So let's try running this in the 6 and see if it sizes nicely for the 6. So as you're playing with this, maybe you want to try sizing yours for a different size. Maybe you have the iPhone 6 Plus and you want to try sizing it for that. So again, just feel free to, move things around in here, kind of resize things. Definitely recommend you just kind of play with it, and I think it'll work out pretty well for you. So this is sizing really nicely based upon everything we've done for the 6 here. And we see that we now have enter name and enter message. Now we do have a bug here, and that's when we click into our text field here, the keyboard is not appearing. And this is just a bug that I've seen over and over again in the new simulator. It's really a shame that Apple hasn't fixed this yet. But we have one way we can get around this. We can go to hardware, we're going to go to keyboards, and we're going to uncheck connect hardware keyboard. And we're going to now see that our keyboard is going to appear. Now, one of the downsides to doing this is we can no longer use our keyboard on our computer to type in. We actually have to click in here, and that's how we're going to be able to add items to our text field. So, if we go in here again, we click in, we'll see that our keyboard now appears properly. So that's the change I've made so that the keyboard is way more consistent for me. You can also, uncheck that option and leave it there so you can interact with your keyboard on your computer. And then each time you're just going to have to do reset content and settings to get your keyboard to show up. But I think that's kind of a pain. So I've made this change. I recommend you make it too. Hopefully in the future when we get a new rev of xcode, they'll have fixed this keyboard issue.